Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Hey everyone, welcome back to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Mac.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Pepper.
And today you are joining us through,
31 through 40
yes, that's where we're at.
of our top 50 games of all time. So yes, hopefully you've watched our first video of our 50 through 41.
If not, go check that out quick.
Yeah, you check that out because one of the things we said in there was there is a giveaway going on alongside what we're doing here. And that is for my number 45 game from the last list of King Domino, and possibly be one of yours as well. But
actually, the winner's choice of either King Domino Origins, or Queen Domino.
Yes.
And if you watch the video, you might find that there could potentially be another option. But we're not going to say it. You have to watch the video.
I was going to say it, but I suppose I keep it a secret. So you got to watch the entire video to find out what the requirements for that could possibly be.
Plug, plug, plug.
But yeah, so if you want to, see about that, I think we'll have another video up kind of describing the giveaway, but just leave a comment below on your favorite game that we have in this set of our top 50, and go back and watch the other video we made and watch our future ones.
Yeah.
So you gotta.
Is it one entry per video?
Yes. So you should probably subscribe to make sure you see when these pop up, and then when we eventually announce the winner, you'll be notified.
Unsubscribe and never watch us again.
There you go. Once it's all over, you just unsubscribe.
Or you could not, and not make me sad.
Okay, you'll be making Mikhail pretty sad if you do it.
Yeah.
So.
But we are starting off.
Yes.
With number 40. My number 40 has dropped 7 spots.
Oh.
It's not a game that a lot of people are familiar with, although one member of the Dice Tower crew actually has this in their top 10 of all time. That is a post-apocalyptic game, Outlive.
Wow.
This is a worker placement game with a theme that I'm definitely into, and it's interesting in worker placement for 2 reasons. You kind of have, I guess, a little bit of a rondel, maybe? Kind of, you move around the board. I guess it's a worker movement, not a worker placement. So you have to pick your workers up from last round and move them like 1 to 2 spots in whatever direction. And in addition to that, those workers actually have a value. So if you're going to produce food or possibly fight animals, the value of the worker actually multiplies what you produce, or is the strength for battling prey that you can eat. And yeah, there's some conflict between people. I've only played it 2 players, so that didn't come into play too much. But I think with more players that could come into play, and I don't know if that would hurt or help the game. But so far, I've actually really, really enjoyed it. And it's one of the few times that I don't mind having to feed your people at the end of a round.
Yeah, you have not played this, and I've only played it once, and I don't overly remember it.
Have you seen the name of the game? Did I miss it?
Outlive.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So, in our alphabet soup, we should be getting to that one sooner than later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't remember it as much, but definitely looking forward to playing it again.
Box.
Scary Box?
Yeah, isn't some of the zombies on it? Or no, I'm thinking of like Survive or something like that. Never mind. I'm lost.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Tiny Epic Zombies?
Oh, it could be that one.
Yeah, probably.
Interesting. Nice. Way to lead us off, Jesse. My number 40 actually dropped 29 spots from last time, and I struggled with this one because it was on our 10 by 10, and after we got done, I was like, I don't know if I ever want to play this game again, because it was just a rough 10 games. I don't know, I think maybe I won 1. Almost wanted to take it completely off the list, but you know what? I was looking at my list, and I was like, you know what? It's still a solid game. I still would play it. You know, it still brings me joy to roll those dice out of that leather cup. So, Stone Age is my number 40.
That 10 by 10 really killed those games. It dropped Orleans off our list. Yeah. Explorers last time. You can go watch and see how that has fallen.
It's a rough Stone one. Age. It's a rough one. So yes, Stone Age is my number 40.
The greatest idea you've ever had.
Thank God she didn't play Root.
Yeah.
That would have really dropped it from nowhere
To nowhere.
Yes, the black hole of death. Yeah, this Stone Age was one I think that was once maybe my favorite game of all time when
Yeah.
we were first getting into it because I really loved the worker placement. But yeah, it's fallen some just because we've had so many other games, so many other options. But it's
Yeah.
still a great introductory game into the hobby. I think kind of
think
that
so.
maybe next level after
Yeah.
like a Catan or a Carcassonne.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
So.
yeah, it's a good pick. But yes, the 10x10 did make it show a few flaws maybe.
Yeah, and it could kind of all up and down depending on the game, the play, and who's playing. And
Mhm.
anyway, what's your 40?
My number 40, so I think we're going to have a three-way non-crossover in our 40s, because I don't think any of us are going to pick the other people's games here. Because I have Pret-a-Porter at number 40. And this is one that I feel like could be higher, and maybe I'm just remembering this one as being maybe better than I really liked it, but I just remember the couple plays of it that we had, and it's probably going back to late last summer, fall, or early fall that I played it last. But it's the most running a business
Yep.
feeling game that I've ever played, and I think it doesn't feel too businessy, like you're really crunching a bunch of numbers and stuff and whatnot. You're just putting together outfits on people
yeah.
to go to fashion shows. So it's a weird theme of a business.
But I think the theme I think actually makes it a lot easier to play because you look at it and it just makes sense. It's like, oh, I want to get this to go with that, and I can hire this person to do this, and this helps with that, and I found it surprisingly easy to get to.
Yeah, and
But we have only played it once, so I guess I shouldn't say that. Or I've only played it once.
Yeah.
and the two times we played it, it's been very high scoring games. And I always like a lot.
I don't
of
know
points in
how
games.
they get into like 300 or whatever, and I'm like, how is that possible?
Right, so we might be scoring. We might have been scoring. I don't know.
Probably switch some tokens for 100 tokens by accident.
I think they over the last year they had a game found project that was called 11 or something, which was it's by the
Soccer
same
or
Ignatius,
something?
but it's like running a soccer team instead. So I think it sounded like it was a pretty similar type of game, but it's just got a different theme on it with soccer.
Interesting.
Something else. That would make it more interesting for you, wouldn't it, Maggie?
I would prefer the fashion theme, but I don't really have much love for Pret-a-Porter after one play.
Okay. Not into fashion.
That's
I
why it's
guess.
only at number 40.
It's
Could
fine.
be higher.
It's fine.
What is that quote from the movie? Could have been a contender. I don't even know what.
Quoting movies he's never seen.
I know. I have no idea what that's
Out
even
of the
from.
blue. Movie quote. This is the kind of content you subscribe for.
Massacring movie quotes from movies we haven't watched. My 39. I actually had to redo this whole list because I wanted to put this game on here.
Oh.
And this is one that I know Zach liked quite a bit right away. And it made his top 10 of the year last year.
Ooh.
And we just played it 3 times in a row last
Oh.
night.
Oh boy.
This is Unmatched. I don't know how, but we now have 5 versions of Unmatched. And I think
I was a
we
little
only
worried.
played it like twice before we got any of those.
Mm-hmm. That was a Cobble and Fog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
A bunch of them showed up, and I was like, what is happening?
We even got an unmatched T-shirt before we had a third or fourth play in.
But yeah, so I was interested at the first play, but actually now seeing, because we took characters from all those different boxes last night and just matched them all up. We had T-Rex versus, what was the one character's name? I forget.
Sun
Sung Wukong or
Wukong,
something
I
like
think.
that.
Yeah.
Which I don't know really anything about that character, but it was interesting to see how all of the characters are different. And in that particular matchup, the T-Rex completely obliterated him in like 3 turns,
Yes.
which can show you that there can be great
It can be.
combos for cards that can really swing a match. And but then also one of the games was just kind of really back and forth, a long match, and some are just very quick.
Right.
So I guess I have the entire series of Unmatched. I don't know. I don't think that's really a cheat. I think they're kind of meant to be played like that. And this is new to the list.
That is a great choice, Pepper, and I think we Noah made the right choice after those plays. 'Cause I was still worried. I was like, what if I don't really like this as much? But now it's like, okay, now I can feel safe getting Beowulf versus Little Red and
The other
Legends
Jurassic.
and the other Jurassic.
Zach's like trying to get these literary characters in to like bring me into the game.
Yeah,
bring
she was
my
just
interest
reading
in.
Beowulf, and I'm like, maybe I could sneak my way into getting that set.
Well, I also read Sherlock, and you've got him already.
There we go. So now I need to get you
Multiple.
to read about. Well, did you read like Arabian Nights? Did
Yeah.
that have anything about genies in it?
There are genies.
Well, let me
There
sell
you
you
go.
on their next set coming out in the fourth quarter.
All right, is this a top?
Houdini versus Genie
Is this a top 10 or a sales pitch for Goblin Fox?
for Unmatched, the whole system.
Yes.
Possibly.
Okay, well, moving on, boys.
Good pick.
I haven't played it yet, so that's kind of why I'm feeling a little left out, but it's my own fault. So, all right, my 39 is new to my list this year. We played it a couple of times with my sister, and we play D&D, and this is a board game, so it's kind of like a quasi mix, and it feels like Clank Legacy never ends, and I loved it. It's Forgotten Waters. It's great. There's an app. It reads you. You know, there's voices. It's kind of maybe in the 2 games we played. It's maybe a little samey, but it's fun enough. I think to spend hours playing it.
I would agree. That is a good choice.
Have you played it yet?
He
I
has
have played it once.
Okay.
I liked it.
He didn't like it as much as I did.
Yes.
It just, I just really like the choices are laid out. Yeah,
I liked it.
It's
I like
great.
the Mad Libs, which
Mhm.
doesn't seem like it would fit in any game that we would like, but works really well.
And I
It
feel like
works
the
perfectly well.
stories are somewhat funny. You know, like there's that one where you could choose between a sponge, a starfish, and a squid. You know, there's just funny options and things in there that just make it engaging.
Yeah, I feel like there's a little Easter eggs maybe if
Yeah.
you're paying attention in some of the things.
Apologies if there's a spoiler.
Spoilers! Don't tell them which option to pick. But no, that's a really great one, and I think what makes it work is that app implementation and
Yep.
the voices reading it and stuff versus reading out of a book.
Yep.
I think that's what really makes it click.
It's great.
But I'm actually shocked because I thought this would be higher on your list.
Oh. Yeah. Maybe in the future, but it does take a
That's
very
fine.
long
It's a
time.
good pick.
It just takes a long time to
It is a
play
long game.
So
It is a long game. I'll give you that.
that is all.
Yeah. I can't remember. I probably did say Predator was new to my list, and this next one is new to my list as well. And we did not have it before last year, and it was in our recent Dino Mania, Running Wild, and it is Dinogenics.
Ooh. Wow.
So yeah, this was one that I think even when I can't remember when it first came out, if I was debating backing the Kickstarter or if it was the second round when it came out with an expansion. So it's one that I've kind of had my eye on for a while because it looks different than like the Dinosaur Island, which we have, which we had gotten at the time, which looks a little more, brighter, kind of neon colors and stuff. So they're very different looking games, but they kind of came out at the same time. And I don't know if I'd seen too many people say definitively one was better than the other, but at the same time I don't know if I saw too many people saying, "Oh, you need to own both."
No.
But yeah, I've really liked that we did get that one and own both now, along with Dinosaur World. We'll have to see if any of the other ones make my list, because I think Dinosaur Island was on my list last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a worker placement. Classic worker placement feel, and the wooden pieces, the wooden fences that slot into the double layered boards are just chef's kiss. Good soup.
Good soup.
So cool. You and your slang. I didn't know you knew Chef Kiss. Wow. That's good.
Dinogenics.
Dinogenics. The new
That's a
chef's
good
kiss.
pick. You might hear more of it later.
From me,
You haven't even played it.
You need to play that one.
as far as you guys know.
You played it
You
solo.
played solo. All 7 solo scenarios. My gosh. My number 38 has dropped 16 spots, at least by my math, so it's probably anywhere from 10 to 20 spots. And that is another game that we played just the other day, and that is Rajas of the Ganges. This is one that
Wow,
had
they
kind
both
of,
got slapped by me.
it's kind of fallen, hadn't played it in a while. But now we have just played it, and you did give us the slaps and claps. But I still really, really like the game, and it's just so satisfying to get the fame and jump up 4 spots there, and to know that's twice as many spots as the money, but then also produce for your goods and score a ton of points that way, and trying to get your 2 tracks to intersect is just so, so fun. And all the dice placement, like we said, pretty much any die roll, especially with being able to flip them upside down to their opposite side. Any
If you have
die roll,
karma.
If you have karma, which I
I
struggled to
was
get.
running low on that the whole game.
Yes. You should be able to do something with your dice most of the time. You just got to make sure you keep having dice at your disposal.
That's rough.
Yeah, I agree. That is a great pick.
Me
We'll have to
too.
see if it's eventually a 3-way crossover or not.
It's my 49.
A 3-way crossover.
It's only been on yours and mine, Mac.
Okay,
We'll have to see. I don't know if it will.
sounds good. All right. My 38 is a game I have not played in a long time, and it actually only moved up.
First, I thought you were going to say I have not played.
Dinogenics, you've convinced her.
It was 31 last year, and I don't think we played it because I think it's been at your house for a while now, but it just remains in my memory as a very good game to play, and one that I'm thinking that as we go through our videos here, you're going to see that there's a theme that pops up dealing with deck building and hand management and different facets that come with that. So Lost Cities is a filler game that I enjoy, the hand management, and you know, it's not deck building in this case, but I really enjoy that piece of it, and yeah, I think it's great.
You know, this is one that did not make my list, even though it probably deserves to be there because it's probably, with BGA, one of my most played games. Because
that?
you just go through it like, it's almost in no time at all.
Yeah.
The turns are so quick in that because it's calculating all for you and stuff. But yeah, that's a really good pick. It did not make my list.
What do we always compare it to?
Arboretum.
Yeah. I like it much better than Arboretum.
I wonder if that's going to make his list.
Yep. The last year, Arboretum did make my list in Lost Cities. I don't think Lost Cities made my list last year either.
I don't know.
Guess we'll see.
Fantastic pick, Mac.
Thank you.
What are we on to? 37.
Ooh.
Wait, is it my pick?
Yeah, it's X.
Oh,
You trying to
right.
skip me,
Trying-
Bubba?
that's right. You didn't pick Lost City.
You trying to skip me?
Prove me wrong. This pick is worthless.
Well, this was my 14 last year, so it
Oh.
must be worthless. It's dropped
Dinosaur
significantly.
Island.
I don't know.
Yahtzee.
I think we played it once, maybe.
God, yes.
We're going to be playing it very soon because we're in the eyes of our alphabet soup.
No. In
Surprise.
the eyes of the ranger.
The eyes of the ranger. In the hall of the mountain king. That one's one that we just haven't played as much, but it just has a bunch of cool things kind of going all on together at the same time, and they seem to really work together well, I think. Because you've got the kind of tunnel portion that you're building out your cave, and you also have a cascading pyramid that you're putting together where you're producing resources based on what's on the cards, because you're making pyramids. So then when you add a card above these 2 cards, you get resources on that card plus the ones below it, and then possibly the ones below that, if you, depending on how high it is up there. I really like how that works, and just scoring points for the tunnels, and then trying to put statues. Is it called statues, or they call it something else? Like something. You're building those in certain spots to get points as well. So there's just like little bits of points that you're kind of getting throughout the game. And I just find it really, really enjoyable. And that is why I'm waiting for the fall of the Mountain King, whenever that ends up showing up. And I think it should be within the next couple months. So we'll see if that can live up to this one.
I really, when I see in the Hall of the Mountain King, you know, it's got those three aspects: the resources, the polyomino, the pick up deliver. And I'm like, this game is gonna be gold. This is gonna be one of my favorites. It's gonna be a top 10 of all time. But for some reason, we just haven't played it much, and it just hasn't risen up. So sadly, it is not going to be on my list, even though I really, really, really want it to be on my list.
This is all good. Well, maybe when we play it this time, maybe it'll. Maybe we should have played it before this to see if you could get it onto that.
Maybe
edge of
once
the
we
list.
get that solo expansion along with fall.
Or maybe we'll play it before we're done with this list, and you'll have to switch out a game in your top 30 for it.
Just take it off the list completely.
I'm like, oh, it's going to be in my top 10. How am I going to remove some of these?
I'll just mix it with another game.
He'll just cheat
Combine
again.
them.
Just cheat. This one and this one. They're not published or designed by the same
Stone
person,
Age
but
and in the Hall of the Mountain King.
they both deal with rocks.
That's right. Okay, my number 37. That was not a worthless pick, Zach. You convinced me.
It's not on my list, but
This is a big,
So it's worthless.
this is a big drop. This is from number 9 to
ooh,
number 20.
leaves
Or,
the
so it's
top
dropped
10.
28.
Leaves the top 10.
This is a game that is, it's just so long. It's so hard to get to the table. I played it with you a few times. Otherwise, I've mostly played this solo. This is Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion.
Wow,
There.
I was not expecting that. He loves Gloomhaven.
I didn't even remember it being that high on your list last year. I knew it was on your list, but I didn't remember it being in your top 10. But I would not have guessed that it would be going down. I would have thought it would have either went up or stayed stable. But I guess knowing that it was that high, I would have thought
Yeah.
maybe it dropped into
Yeah.
the teens or 20s.
Well, I completed my story in the
Mhm.
in the game, and I'm still interested in taking some of those characters to mix them with kind of the ones that we've been playing with and see how the level of the scenario actually adjusts for more experienced characters and less experienced. So I'm interested to see actually how well that works. But other than that, it's just a hard one to get to the table. It takes a long time. I know sometimes when I play it solo, I'll just kind of take a break and eat and then get back to it. So it ends up being like 6 hours just for one play of it. And there may be another game that delivers a similar feel and experience, but much, much quicker coming up soon. Or not so soon.
Interesting. I've got no
Maybe
idea.
took the
what
number
that would
9.
be. Got no idea what that would be, but cool. All right, my number 37 is new to me this year and new to my list. And I got to learn it as we went through our alphabet soup. So check out our videos for the A if you want to hear my thoughts on Aquatica. Ayo. It's just a really fun.
Thank you.
It's just a really fun deck building, hand management. I enjoyed the way the cards slide up. It's really neat, and yeah, the manta rays, you can't argue with those. They're great. So
They are very. They didn't need to be in there, but they just fit perfectly.
chef's kiss.
Yeah. Yes, that is the other chef's kiss. Because yeah, those. Yeah.
I'm guessing I'll be the only representation for that one, but I really like it.
I don't know, it might be on his list. This is another one
It's
like
not gonna.
Mountain King where I really
Yeah.
I want this to be one of my top games, but it just hasn't gotten there yet.
Yeah. I don't think it has enough plays for my list, but it is a very solid choice. It's a good choice.
Really good.
Thank you. I thought so too.
Yeah. Let's see what I got. What number are we even on?
37.
37. We're staying around the waters.
The Forgotten Waters.
We're in the age of sail.
Uh-oh.
Endeavor Age of Sail. This one was not on
Forgot
my
about
list last year.
Good thing or bad thing?
What did you say?
I said I forgot about this one.
Wow.
He's gonna have to remake his list.
It might have been in contention.
That we hadn't. This was one that we hadn't played that much. I think we had. I'm pretty sure we had the game before we made our list last year. So even though it's jumping on here, I think I had wanted to try to get it played before we made that list, but it didn't get played. And now that we're going through our games, E was one of the letters we got through, and I really enjoyed that play of it. It's for being so big and so much of a table hog, it is pretty simple as to what you can do. It's not like you have. I mean, if you're looking at the board, it's like, oh my gosh, I've got so many choices. But really, it's not that big of a field of choices, which makes it very playable, even though it looks very intimidating. And I think I always, for some reason, won't bring this one onto the table because, in my mind, because it's so big, it seems intimidating. Or like, oh, that one takes forever to set up. But it really is not that bad compared to some other games. May not be the quickest setup, but it's not definitely not as long as I imagine in my head.
It has some good game trays for some of the tiles, which is really nice. But yeah, I remember that one being a lot more forgiving than I thought it would be. A lot easier to grasp, especially those tiles that you get. You just have to reach a certain level, and then at the beginning of a round, you take one of those tiles. I'm like, really? I don't have to pay for this? There's no income type things like that? And
right, yeah, there's just, I think, is it 4 or 5 4 tracks, I think. And they all, the way you do your actions, it kind of all flows together and is really well laid out, which makes it really easy to remember, like, oh, we do this part, then we do this, then we do that. It's just a really, really solid game.
Yeah, it's good. It's not on my list, but I will say there are other nautical themed games that are. Like Aquatica.
There we go.
All right.
36. This one is also a drop, but only dropping 7 spaces. And this is a game that I think Max says she has never won.
There's many of those, so.
Okay, sorry to bring that up. Gods Shown Clever.
Oh, gosh.
Or the whole Clever series. I prefer the original. It's what I'm most comfortable with. Just really fun to roll the dice and try to get great combos together and try to get the highest score possible. This is kind of the first game that we had. It's probably one of the first roll and writes games we had, and one that really used those combos. That you can gain this, which gives you something over here, which gives you something over here, and gets you a fox, so you get to score again, and it's just so fun, so satisfying.
I think the bonuses you get in that one are probably some of the cleanest that I've seen in a game as to how they work. Because, I think we've played a couple other ones that do have bonuses, but these ones just work so cleanly. Which, it's a solid game. It's another easy one to get to. I think most of it is pretty clear for probably anyone. So, good choice.
Good job. All right, my number 36 moved.
I think we had videos on that. Do we have videos on that one?
I think we're in the process of making videos at the time of this filming.
Nice.
Sorry.
That's okay. So my 36 was my previous 27. And I'm guessing I'm again
Trash now.
the only person who's going to put this on their list. But we recently replayed it, and I was like, yeah, I do still really like this game. And I put it on my list, and this is kind of where you fell. And that is Jaipur. Jaipur, however you say it. So it's just a quick 2-player game. Zach typically wins. You know, what else is new? But I enjoy the pick up versus not pick up versus score. That whole, like, kind of aspect of it where it's kind of just a bite-sized piece of something you'd get in a larger game. And so I just really enjoy being able to focus on that one piece in this game. And so that is my 36.
Yeah, really good. I like that one a lot.
I do as well. That was a great pickup at Barnes and Noble, I think.
It was
on deal.
Yeah.
And it just crazy how far that one's come from our first play of
we totally read those.
playing it incorrectly to
Your first play
one of our favorite
games
2-player
with
games.
Camels are
Right.
bound to go wrong.
Always bound to go wrong.
We don't have a good track record.
Probably that sneaky camel with that panda on it. I bet he did it. Caused us to misread the rules. But yes, my 36 is also new to my list.
Oh boy.
I think that's all you guys have been hearing if you've watched the last 2 videos that I got here.
We're all about the hotness here.
15 probably in these first 2 that are new. maybe not that many, but there's a lot. And I don't know if we've gone to this. I'm trying to remember if anyone has had a game that's been this theme yet. I don't think so.
Space?
Space.
I had Circadians.
Oh, yes, you did. Sorry.
Not in this set, but
Sorry, I couldn't remember if there's any other space. But this one is going.
Did this designer also go underwater?
Yes.
to a city.
I believe so. And he went beyond the sun.
Oh.
Right? No, no, no.
No.
I
No.
was thinking.
Okay.
No, not Pulsar. Not Pulsar.
I don't know what
No,
that
Beyond the Sun.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember.
Oh.
Who did design Beyond the Sun?
I think it was.
Was it one of the well-known, or was it someone brand new? Maybe it's brand new.
Arnak was the new designer. I forget if Beyond the Sun.
See it.
Oh,
But
look.
you go grab it. But yes, Beyond the Sun is a new one that I knew I wanted to play after it. Hearing
Dennis K. Chan.
Yep. So that I think that's a newer designer, but he
Designer
did a
of-
great job. I'm looking forward to what comes next.
I'll have to look up, see if he has any underwater games.
He may have an underwater game, but no, this one is just. I heard the people from the Dice Tower talking about it and liking it, even though it kind of is. I don't know if you'd say spreadsheety, or you just got tech trees kind of going off, and just every
Did you play it?
play as I play
No,
more and
I
more of
haven't
it.
played
It just keeps getting better and better. Just making a lot of interesting choices, and you're just exploring the new technologies as you go along, and trying to. The only thing is, I'd be curious as to see like how it plays, because I think all my plays so far have been 2 players. I'd be interested to see how it'd play with 3 or 4. I don't know if that'd make it too long. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it's a very solid 2-player game, and it's felt different every single time that I've played it so far. So that definitely helps it. Because that was one that played on Board Game Arena first and ended up buying.
Nice. And I still got to get it to the table. So,
Yeah,
Even though we did our alphabet soup.
yeah.
really
Well,
enjoyed
not my
my
fault.
first play. You can check out our first impressions of that. I think that's posted by now.
Plug,
we really
plug,
have no clue here.
Plug.
Please subscribe. We have no clue.
We don't know what we're doing.
But yeah, didn't quite make my list, but it was close. On to 35. We're
35.
halfway through this. Let's start the second half of this list. This video. This is a game that's new to my list, not new to your guys' list. And you guys said last year that this is a game that I would like. So I got the app for it. And
I
played
know.
it quite a bit.
I know.
Yahtzee.
Mystic Vale.
Mystic Vale.
Why not?
John declare. I do declare. It's a great game.
Ever since I heard, I don't know who first said that, but ever since I've heard that, that's all I ever think of when I think of John DeClaire.
What was it? Was it Lee Garcia?
I think it was Z or Mike or something.
But yeah, this could be higher, but I've kind of, since I did play it so much on the app, I've cooled down on it a little bit, but this was probably maybe even top 20 originally in its hotness. But it's cooled down a little bit, haven't played it in a while, but I still really, really love the system. The card crafting system is it's not really deck building. You get your deck, and you actually build the cards as you play the game. Otherwise, it's pretty much works just like a deck builder. You kind of get currency and add more things to the cards and get points. Just a really, really cool, really unique game.
Nice.
It was a great choice.
Yes. Well, my 35 was my last year's 34. So not a lot of movement here, which I think speaks to what this game is. I had a very rough year with it in the 10 by 10. I felt like I got better. I really didn't, but I really still enjoy this game, and I feel like that is just why it's popular, and that is Psy. So,
I didn't remember that one being on your list.
that was 34 last year.
Oh yeah. Is it because we played? I think we were playing it at the beginning of the
Yeah.
10 by 10. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes. I mean, I'm not very good at it. I can't even win even with like the cheating. if I use like an S coupling and I give him like the D, I still can't win. But It's fun to try. The pairings. The pairings. Like the illegal pairings.
Oh, I see. I was so confused. I'm like, the S and the D.
S is the
Yes,
top. It's
yeah.
S or
I know what you're
double S
saying
and
now.
A
I was just totally confused.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I don't
what
know.
are we talking about? I thought we were talking about Scythe.
Murder?
I was so confused. Even if I try that, I thought you were talking about a strategy, and I'm
No.
like,
It's all about
I don't know what the S and the D
Avoid the
stand-
D inside.
Yeah.
sorry.
So, I'm sure you'll hear more about this.
So it
but
begins.
He's losing it.
That is
I'm
a
sure
good-
you'll hear more about it, but everything about this game is just great.
That's a good
So.
choice. Good choice, Maggie.
Thank you.
Well done.
I
Well
enjoyed it.
done.
I thought it was good.
Well, for me, I think this is the first game that was on my list last year that's actually moving in a better direction. Most of them have been dropping, or else they're just brand new for me so far. But this one moved from number 39 to number 35.
Ooh,
And it's kind of
big
surprising.
movement.
It's kind of surprising. I almost wouldn't have expected it to. I don't know why it did, but it is
Maybe
Architects of the West Kingdom.
Oh, that's
I don't know why it did,
Interesting.
but it just
You already had the
That's where it ended up.
expansion last
Yeah.
time, didn't you?
that's where it ended up for me. So it
Wow,
I mean, it
nostalgia.
deserves it. It's probably some nostalgia for it because
Maybe
this
just-
was at one point probably my top game
Yeah.
of all time.
When
as
you
well.
started your Instagram, it was the first one we listed as like your favorite
Yeah.
game of all time or whatever.
Yeah, 'cause when I first got it, I was like, "Wow, this is amazing." I don't know if we had Raiders at that time. Yet.
No,
No.
that
'Cause-
came
but
later.
yeah, just the
This
way
is
the
the
worker
first.
placement worked, going from like a Stone Age type worker placement to this, where
Yeah.
you're adding more and more and getting that many resources back. Wow, that's great. I think I'm surprised. I don't know that I've seen it used more because it is an excellent way to do worker
Yeah, I think
placement.
the
I
only
think,
thing
especially
is-
since you can capture them.
I think they say Notre Dame kind of has that a little bit.
Well,
you
that's
go
true,
there
that's
multiple
true.
times, it gets better.
Yeah, that's true. That's
but
a
there
good
is
point.
No
That's another.
capturing of opponents in that.
Right. I do like it in that as well. That is true. That's a solid one for that as well. But yeah, like I said in the last video, I think I like Garfield games the most. I mean, we'll see. I think they're on maybe her list some more. I don't know about you so much.
I took Architects off my list.
Not on my list
But-
either.
Yes,
But I do remember those at first play, and because we hadn't. I mean, looking back now, I'm like, is it a lot like Stone Age? But at first, we hadn't really played as many games, so I'm like, oh, this is like Stone Age.
Yeah.
And it just felt so fresh and so new, and that's
Yeah.
one of the only times that I played one of your new games and been like, we need to play this again. And it was at one point my number one game.
Yeah.
yeah.
It may be the only number one game that is not in this top 50 anymore.
Oh man.
Sadness.
But no, it's a great game, and
It was
I would
really
definitely
good.
say if you're not looking for Garfield games like most strategic,
Yeah.
most thinky games, that I would probably get this
Yeah,
one.
I'd say this might be the most essential
Mhm.
of the line.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice. On to 34. You say I'm not a Garfella, we call him.
Garfellas.
This is the only Garfield game.
Oh
On my
my
list.
gosh. West
Oh
Kingdom.
boy, and it's not even one we
It's
own.
not from the West Kingdom.
Oh.
It's not
It's
from the
not
North
from
Sea.
the North Sea.
Scythia?
Raiders of Scythia. So kind of a crossover with Scythe there. Just to take away the E, add an IA, put a Raiders of on the front.
Here, I thought he was going to say something about the S and the D. These guys, I don't know what the heck they're talking about.
Yes.
Nice.
This is maybe an A.5, I would say. No. Okay. Too far. Raiders of Scythia is great. I didn't want to play it right away. I'm like, I like Raiders of the North Sea. There, I had issues with it, but
Yeah.
I liked it a lot, and it was probably my favorite of the bunch. And then I'm just like, oh, what's this brown version? Probably boring looking, boring playing, more complicated, and I find pretty much every one of those things to be wrong. It's way more interesting to me because it does include a lot of the expansion parts. For the Raiders of the, I always want to say for the Raiders expansions, they're both Raiders. For the North Sea expansions, a lot of that is put into the base game here, and I think streamlined quite a bit. So it doesn't even feel like, oh, I'm playing with 2 expansions worth of stuff. It doesn't really feel that way.
No.
And I actually really, really love the artwork, especially on the cards, the character cards. It looks kind of like classic playing card style, like the face cards reminds me of.
That's
And
true. Yeah.
really like the look of that. I've kind of softened or cooled down on the Micho artwork, which I really like. It's very colorful, but is fresh, a fresh change from that.
Yeah.
And I obviously love the Raiders system of worker placement. You place one worker down, pull one up. You can actually go and raid some, I don't know, villages, whatever. Roll some combat dice, which was added, and most of all, the companions, the horses, and the eagles that you can add to boost your stats and give you special abilities are phenomenal. I don't know why this isn't higher, but I just haven't played it much.
Yeah, that's true. I 100% agree with the... First looking at it, I was like, I got Raiders of the North Sea. Why would we have to play this? But I may have been wrong.
I can tell.
We'll see.
I can tell from looking at the comparisons of our list that you guys are. I'm on a different page because that is not on my list.
She's like, I got Raiders of the North Sea.
Nope.
It's gonna be on this list.
I took that one off too.
Do you even like Shem and Sam?
It's not looking good for him. That's what I'm gonna say.
Wow.
The same thing.
It's kind of shocking
happened
though
last
that Circadians is on your list.
I don't know. I
would
think it's just,
argue that could almost be comparable in strategy and stuff to like a Paladins.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think
They're much crunchier than those two.
I'm probably equally intimidated.
I would
by
say-
them both.
I would say Architects or Raiders of the North Sea
Yeah.
anyway would be the two like intro or most likely to
Now
buy.
Explorers.
I still like Raiders. We just don't play it, so I just
Yeah.
All right. Well,
There was Garfield Game Spotlight.
yes, this game has improved since last year. Last year it was my 42. This year it is my 34, and that
Before you
is
say it, Raiders of Scythia did drop 22 spots. It was 12 last year.
oh
Ooh.
wow! I didn't even know you guys had played it already last year.
Don't know why. Okay, carry on.
That's fine. So my number 34 is Dominion.
Ooh.
So we kind of already talked about this one in our previous video. Hint, hint. Go take a look at that one. But it's just a really beautiful card game. That's all it is. It's hand management, I guess, and deck building, which are like I said, you're gonna see a theme. That's what I love. That's where my niche is. Yours is worker placement. Mine is card drafting and hand management. So
Deck building.
yeah.
Anything with cards.
Heart of the cards.
Z Garcia.
Asterisk, but yes, I am Nacho Average Tabletops Z Garcia.
And I like the dice. I don't know if that makes me Tom or someone else.
No, you like
Dice
worker
man.
placement.
Huh?
You like worker
Workplace.
placement.
I'm Mike Delisio. So
The old man.
Mr. Stonemeyer and Garfield Games.
Dice Man and Maverick. That is your-
Dice Man and Maverick.
Yeah, there we go. Can you tell we just watched Top Gun?
I'm Bob.
Wow.
I like Bob.
Sorry, what was yours?
Dominion.
Dominion. Okay. That might, yeah, it crossed over with me. I think I got confused because you said beautiful game, and I was like, everything in it. The mechanisms are beautiful. I don't know if I would say the artwork is my favorite.
Good storage.
I just realized that I'm missing a game in either slot 32 or 33.
Nice.
I
You're
wonder,
a game
You're gonna have to think
Yeah.
quick. She's gonna have to think quick.
Play
guys.
Coffee Roaster quick, solo while we talk.
I don't know.
Well,
what
I got my
happened.
number 34.
Yes.
It is my second one to be going in a positive direction.
Ooh.
And that, it was 48, so it barely made my list last year. It is now 34, and that is Coal Baron.
Oh.
So this was one we got back to as well. I believe we played it with more players, and that might have been the first time I played it outside of like a 2-player game. And I've been waiting and waiting to see how it plays with more because of the way you win majorities and things.
I think there could be a runaway winner, possibly, with
Yes.
lower player counts.
Yes, and I think we might have still had a little bit of that possibly, but no, I just really love the way you got some pick up and deliver in that one. and you're just trying to fulfill some contracts of like 4 different types with 4 different types of coal. You're just adding tiles to each side. You've got like a lit side and a dark side. Don't really know why they wouldn't put lights up on both sides, but I guess that's the theme to it. Apparently they keep one side dark and one side lit. I don't know why, but then the main thing is worker placement, and it's got the kind where you can kind of bump out and then bump them into like the middle of the board or something. Of if there's someone on a spot that you want, you can put 2 workers there to replace them, and then if someone wanted that spot again, they can put 3 there to do that.
We gotta come
I
up
really
with
love how that works.
Gotta come up with a name for that. 'Cause that's in quite a few games.
It is in quite a few games, and
I wonder
yeah,
if
I'm
there's
not
a
sure.
phrase for it.
There probably is, but yeah, it's worker placement again, so that's something I really like, and I love how you can take actions that have already been taken,
Yes.
although you have to give up a little bit more to do it.
Yeah, that's one where I'm like, again, it's not on my list, but I really think it could be.
I really like that game. It's not on my list, but it is very good.
Well, you got an opening.
I know. I'm like panicking here. I don't know if they can tell, but I'm like, what?
Very slow. My
happened?
number 33.
I do not know what happened. I don't know what happened.
My number 33 is a game that we don't own. Another game that we don't own. I played it only on BGA. And this has moved up 2 spots.
Ooh.
So very consistent. This is 6 Nimmt.
Ooh.
This is pretty much you start with like 40 points. Everyone does. And you have a few rows of cards. And you all have like a deck of, or a hand of like 10 or 12 cards. And you each lay one down. They're all revealed and played in ascending order onto the row that it is closest to, because each row has a card on it. So if one has a 15 on it and someone plays a 16, it will be placed on there, on that row. And you can actually set a row, like if someone plays the 6 card in the row, then they claim all of those cards, and each of them has negative points printed on the bottom of it. Some more than others. Some have like 5 negative points, some only 1. So it's just really interesting, especially when you get to those higher player counts. And it's like, I really don't know what everyone else is going to do. So I think I'll play maybe a 99 and try to get high, so someone will bust the row before it even gets to me. Just really fun trying to outthink your opponents.
Yeah, there's definitely some interesting outthinking and stuff there. Is there like a version where it like pushes the row back?
Yeah, I think you can go play on either side.
Yeah,
that's a little.
I think
too
that was
much.
a bit too much.
Yeah.
Especially with more players. Yeah, that one's definitely an interesting one.
Yes.
It did not make my list, but that's one because it's on BGA and it's not too long of a game. It's one that I occasionally will play if I see like a table open for it or something. But yeah, it's a good choice. And I suppose to give Mac a little bit extra time, I will do.
I don't know what happened. And
I will
like,
do my
how do I
33.
slot one in here now?
You got Orleans.
in the middle of this mess.
Put Orleans back on the list where it belongs, Mackie. I will do my 33,
Split these.
and that is Lanterns,
I'm sorry.
which
Lanterns.
used to be my 47. So that was
Ooh.
another one that moved.
Lanterns.
3. I've had 3 move, and this one
Nice.
is shocking. If you've been listening to our so far, every time we've brought up a 10 by 10, it's all been negative to the games that have been on the list. But like I said, this one moved from 47 to 33. So I don't know what Lanterns is. Just one that just continues to
Shine.
shine. It shines. You're right.
It shines.
Yeah, it's just one of those another solid, clean game where you place a tile and then you just give out colored cards based on whatever lights are facing you and any matches you have.
That was so cool playing that for the first time, and it's just like, oh, it matters where I'm sitting at the table.
Right. Yeah, it works so well too.
Shocking.
So yeah, and it really is. I don't think it scales pretty well. I don't think like if you're playing with 2 players versus 4 players, it's like, wow, you play 4 players, it triples the time or something, or doubles the time. It's still extremely quick because you're handing out all those cards. And that's just a set collection of either getting like 1 of each color, or 4 of a kind, or 3 pairs. I just love how that goes, and you just get to a point in the game where it's like you have to map out so every move you get some sort of points, just to keep up with everyone else. So I just really love how that one almost always seems to come down to like a 1 or 2 point difference. It's just always fun, and even though we had to play it 10 times, it still grew on me. I was like, wow, this is just a solid game.
It wasn't a chore to play that.
No.
One, so. All right. Well, I don't know. I put a Band-Aid on this. We'll do this because I don't think that it's fair to slot one in now. But
we could say that it's your 50 and all of them moved up.
Sure. I don't know how to do that. So.
Well, no, you don't have to actually say it, but we could just pretend this one was your 50 and everything moved up. You could just say what it is, what the new one you added to your list was.
Well. Or
you're not actually going to say a game.
I'll say a game, but I'm gonna split what I had there because it's basically 2 games. So I'm gonna my 34. I'll put as Fox in the Forest Duet.
I thought we were on 33.
I don't know what number we're on anymore.
33.
Yeah, 33. I'll put as Fox in the Forest Duet.
Okay.
Interesting.
So.
What will be her 32?
Shocking, I know.
Fox in the Forest Duet. What do you have to say about that one?
Yeah, we played it recently, and I really enjoy trying to figure it out with you. And might be a little metagaming in there, but trick playing games I think are fun and interesting. So that's a good version of working together to do a trick taking game. So.
Yeah, it's another one of those cooperative ones outside of the crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Tom Vasel push to the moon.
Both versions. On to 32. I guess, do you want to talk about your 32, or should I leave?
Sure, I can do 32.
There you go.
So my 32 is Fox in the Forest. So
Whoa!
Crazy, I know. I was going to group them together anyway, so we'll just split them. So Fox in the Forest is just, again, a trick-taking game, except this time you're going against each other. Zach and I played this recently, and I was like, yeah, I mean, this is really great. Even if you lose, it's just so fun to play the player and play the cards and figure it out. So I was like, yeah, this definitely stays. So
yeah, especially since you whooped me the last time. You came from behind.
I did.
I won the first one. I dominated it, and then she just went on to smack me over and over.
Because I saw him like playing it out in his head, and I was like, boy, you can't play me like this.
Can't play me.
That's what she said, right in the middle of the game.
But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stop playing.
I'm gonna play a random card, mess you up.
I was like, I gotta play him and it got in his head because I kept going for the 7s and I kept getting him, and that's all I was trying to do, and it threw him off, and I was like, yes.
Yeah. That's
or right. I just got lucky. You know, all of those are very possible. So.
No, I don't think so. I didn't bring my A game, I think.
Thanks for letting me win.
I did not let you win. I wouldn't have dominated you in the first round if I had let you win.
Yeah, no. That was a pretty sick comeback. I was like, oh, it's
pretty
over.
Good.
So.
It's a good pick.
Yeah. All right.
We can just circle around.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Changing it up.
First.
What do we got
Made
here?
a conscious decision
Oh,
of who would
not
go
even
first and
ready.
last before we started. Now it's all shook up.
Yeah.
It's shook up all right. Because now we're talking about my 32, which might shock some people because it's my second dinosaur game in this batch of 10.
Wow.
And if you watched our Triceratops review, I may have had this one and one that I already mentioned, Dinogenics, in opposite
You're not going to say the name of the other one? You just mentioned it.
I may have had them in an opposite order, but when I filled this out, this is kind of how it ended up, and that is Dinosaur World.
Ooh.
And I think the reason it was above it is because if I just got to play any one of these games and I wasn't worried about time, wasn't worried about that stuff, I think this one just presents a few more interesting things with the Jeeple Tour in it, and just all the different tiles that you can get, all the different dinosaurs, all the stuff from the All-In Pledge, it's too much. It's
Chef's
another
kiss.
chef's kiss.
The hat trick.
But yeah, it's another worker placement one. It doesn't feel as classic as Dinogenics. Feels a little bit different, but you have different colored workers that you use on not only to do actions from the shared boards, but then also your own board as well, along with doing your Jeeple tour. And yeah, it's a solid game.
Yeah.
Dinosaur themed games are awesome.
You will be hearing about both of those again later.
But not from me. There's not
Wow.
a single dinosaur game on my
You
list.
had an opening.
Yeah.
My number 32 is completing the 3-way crossover of Dominion.
Oh, yay.
I thought this might be a little higher for
Oh,
you.
she thinks she gets 2
I-
fist bumps.
I was hoping you didn't notice, but I didn't. My cognitive skills were not on board there.
He didn't want to give me a fist bump.
This one has moved up.
Wow.
Wow. 10 spots from
Ooh.
42, so it's making some good ground here.
Yeah.
And I recently got the app. I think it's currently in beta, but you can download it and play it, and that's been pretty flawless so far that I've played, and it's just been a really quick way to play the game and really explore it more than I have. We've only played it under 10 times probably in person, but now I've played it dozens of times, and I'm really, really enjoying it a lot. It's just so clean. We've talked about it already.
Yeah.
Classic deck building.
It's a strong game.
It's one of those scary ones, like Unmatched, where there's
I need it
500
all.
expansions. So we only have
didn't
one so
realize
far.
that.
We only have one so far. So hopefully, I don't
It's
know.
a
We'll see what
3-way
happens.
crossover.
We'll see what happens.
It would be worth it.
Not all 500 of them, though, maybe.
And,
I do
Yes.
like card games, but
and if we
geez.
get to 500 subscribers, we will also give away a game of Dominion.
Oh, man.
There you go.
Challenge.
So I
A new
guess.
challenge and giveaway each episode.
Never know.
Oh, man. So I guess I get to say my 31, my last one first, huh?
Yep.
All right.
Or
Well,
I could say mine if you want.
no, that's okay. I can say mine. So,
Good.
this.
Timestamps are going to be ridiculous.
Yep. Good luck, people.
We're like, what? This doesn't make any sense.
So my number 31, I don't even know where to go with this, is a game Zach mentioned in the previous video, and I didn't like my first playthrough of this, but every time since it has gotten better. And it's a beautiful game. I wouldn't typically think this type of game would be up my alley because there's a certain level of combat to it, but who knows, things surprise you.
I'm
So
liking.
my 31 is Ancient World.
She loves this game.
I do. It's really great. It's fun.
Yeah, for me, because I got it for my birthday once, and I saw the cover, and I'm like, I need to get this game. I love the look of the cover, although that elephant is pretty creepy with his
It is a
6
creepy
eyes. I
elephant.
didn't notice that originally, but I'm like, if that wasn't there, this might be a perfect cover.
Mhm.
And the whole game is beautiful, and I'm glad you guys like it.
Yes. If you don't want it, we'll take it.
It's not going to be a 3-way crossover,
Aw.
so I think
Do you think it's because you
yours.
haven't played it as much, or you just haven't really liked it that much?
I liked it. I've liked although I did absolutely terribly the last time we played. I was starving.
Oh yeah, you starved your
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Starving my people. I was.
Well,
My
is
tummy
it-
was calling. I'm like, when is this gonna end?
I need some mac and cheese. I'm hungry.
Isn't it great though
Some
that
nugs
if
and cheese.
there's a game in the collection you bought hoping to like and you don't, that there are others who might appreciate it still in our group. So
It is good.
philosophy. Okay.
Wow.
Try to go deeper than that, boy.
Oh, I'll go deeper.
Yeah.
I'll go deeper to mine some ore, and then throw it in the furnace.
Oh boy.
My number 31 is new to the list. It is Furnace. It is Mike Delicio's most surprising game, 2 years running. This one's an engine builder. It's a quick game where you're just engine builder and a bidding game, kind of auction game. I don't know, is it auction, bidding, whatever it is, where you're buying the different cards out on the board, and then they help you pretty much turn things into points.
Yeah.
Is what it's really doing. It's an engine builder of turning this into this into that, and that into points. And you're trying to do it as quickly as possible. And it seems like you should have enough time to really get something going, but just like that, the game is over, and it's just like, wow, I focused too much on getting these different materials and not actual points. Because sometimes I feel like it's like, I could just keep that material because I need it for whatever, some other thing, but I could turn it into 4 points right now, and you can only use the cards once each time, so if you end up having leftover resources, they're not really worth anything for you. So just managing your resources and getting them turned into points as quickly as possible, just awesome. But I think the bidding mechanism is amazing. I did not think it would be something that would work. When I was reading it, it sounded like there's no way this doesn't sound like this is going to work. I don't understand why people are liking this game so much. It just sounded so weird. But yeah, once you are doing it, it's like, wow, that is really clever.
Yes.
Such a clever thing to do, I think.
This one, I absolutely love. I don't know if our first impression is posted of this, but if it is, you'll see that I absolutely love this game. I may have even called it the It's a Wonderful World killer. Sadly, I have only played it once, and it did not make my list, although I really do want it to, because that bidding mechanism is amazing. I love it. Although it does have the stupidest round tracker thing. Most unneeded.
Right? A little thing going down the side.
I kind of like it.
It's just for something so
Although, like,
streamlined
doesn't
and
each
so
player-
clean. That just seems so unneeded.
But doesn't each player have like a weird thing too?
yes.
Like a weird,
Oh yeah.
like a top hat and then a glove.
I played as the pocket watch.
It just almost doesn't feel like it fits in there. It just is so weird. But
Charming.
I like
brings
it.
a
though.
tear to my eye. So
I
beautiful.
like it. Yeah.
So beautifully done.
I like that it's a white box. It's a nice
Yeah,
change.
I like the
That
artwork.
that
too
is
excellent artwork.
The artwork is great, and that cover I think is a cover right up your alley, where you.
It is, and it's
see
a
it.
name right up my alley.
Furnace.
Yeah, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, this is one that I hope I like. And then I feel like for just a little bit, things went silent on it. I never heard anything about it, and then it just kind of slowly burned in the furnace, and people started talking about it some more.
That's why Mike DeLisio had to put it on twice. He's like, people aren't talking about it.
I need to bring this to the masses.
Well, now,
My 31.
Now, to close out with probably the least exciting game on this whole list,
Nice.
it is Cribbage. This is moved down 4 spots, but with all the new games coming into the list, it's pretty much holding its own, and I think one of the reasons is the solo variant that I've discovered,
Oh.
where you pretty much take a hand of 6 cards, put 2 to the crib, another hand of 6 cards, same thing, score all 3 hands with the top card flipped from the deck, and it works out perfect amount of cards for 4 rounds, and you try to beat 100 points. And it's always right around 100 points if you have a good game, so I'm like, this is so simple, how does this actually work? To such a clean number, too. So I've gotten to play, get that cribbage fix in, even solo. It's been fun.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, that's one nostalgic pick.
Yes.
Yeah, we haven't played that in a long time though.
No, we have not. We should get it to the table.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my favorite classic games that we played when I was growing up. I would think.
And I didn't grow up playing it, so you taught it to me, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it was good. We did play it quite a while.
Well, that was our 31 through 40 games.
It's so weird. I've always heard it like 40 through 31, and that's how I've always pictured it. But now you guys are saying 31 through 40.
40
like we're
through
counting up.
31. 40 through 31. We will say it that way then.
I was
Maybe.
told
You're
last
counting
year that I
down.
don't make any sense, so I refuse to make any statements on if we're going
I will
higher
not make
or
a
lower.
comment on that. I refuse to comment.
Getting
At the
gooder.
report. Wow.
Wow.
I don't think she ever said that.
Apparently Jesse thinks that. Well, I guess never
At
mind.
least we're not talking about the steaks and the chickens like last year yet.
Oh Lord.
We're not to that point yet.
Next episode.
But yeah, so that's our first 20 done. If you check out the other video, we got 30 to go.
Yeah.
And now we're going to start getting into Mac's games that she actually likes.
Wow.
I think she likes these
That's
games.
a joke
I'm
from
just,
last year.
I'm just a little... I'm going to be surprised because I feel like you've named some
There
that I
been
would have thought would be a little
lot of
higher.
games that I thought she.
So, I'm waiting to hear what you got to say, Mac.
Wow.
And you better be ready to
I thought you
defend.
guys could read me like a book.
Hey, you better be ready to defend yourself. That's all I got to say.
I don't.
Especially for kicking Orleans off your list.
Yeah, the
And
next
not even entering a number 33.
No, I'm pretty
No,
solid. I'm pretty solid.
I would rather skip a number than put Orleans on my list.
I'm pretty solid on my top 30. So.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, we hope to see you on the next video. And as
Yes.
always, don't forget to
Keep on nibbling.
on that content.